other people here, if you guys would like to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, Sean, Ramjagsingh, producer on NHL16.
Eddie Lack, Carolina Hurricanes.
And I'm Ben Ross, gameplay and presentation producer for NHL.
How does that feel rolling off the tongue, Carolina Hurricanes?
It's growing on me.
You want to talk about the plan?
We're going to play Game of Versus, I think Eddie versus Raymer. And then we'll go into some Be a Pro, Hockey Ultimate Team, Be a GM, and we're going to end it off with EASHL.
Yeah, so I think we'll kick it off. Eddie and I will play against each other, maybe a little Vancouver versus Carolina.
Sounds good.
And we got Ben here talking about some of the gameplay stuff as we're playing. And then as we flow through the rest of the program, we'll bring in some of the other producers so we can go deep dive. I know we haven't shown a whole lot of behind the scenes Be a Pro yet or Be a GM. So we'll get into some of those details as well. I think we're taking questions.
Mm-hmm. I got some questions too.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. I'll take...
You're going to be Vancouver?
I'll take Vancouver.
Really?
You know we take Vancouver?
No, you go ahead. Or, I was here somewhere. There. No, I didn't put myself in.
Oh, we didn't change it?
No.
Depends whether or not you want to see yourself get lit up or not. We can go back and change it. We can change it.
You can change it from here too.
Let's change it.
Yeah. That's sick. That just looks just like Dunic. Okay, let's change it.
Want to see stuff play out?
Yeah.
Do you want to play out the sequences or just skip them?
Mm-hmm. Oh, what? Just FYI, guys, I'm not playing. This is Eddie and Rammer playing. But I guess I could ask a question for Eddie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, what's been your best NHL moment so far?
The best one? I don't know. I mean, I played a lot be a GM and stuff when I grew up, and like it's just so much fun just getting your own team and stuff. My worst memory was probably when Wyatt Ard kicked my ass last year.
Yeah. Stanchion, you think he's watching right now?
Oh, for sure he is. That's awesome.
Let's go in there and get Cam Ward out of there.
That's awesome.
Let you go to manage teams.
There's maybe some questions on
Mm-hmm.
There you go, goalies.
So anyone here can answer this, but
Yep.
will there be possibly any new special cards or anything like that?
Any special?
Like any special cards, maybe some returning special cards that could possibly be in the game.
Like Hockey Ultimate Team?
Mm-hmm.
Hockey Ultimate cards? Good question. We'll save those. Save that for when we go into some Hockey Ultimate Team stuff. We'll get Clem going deep dive into all the details of HUT.
Maybe someone could maybe elaborate on the new seamless puck pickups or something.
Yeah, so we can talk a bit about that for those who haven't had a chance to maybe even get their hands on it during the beta period.
Oh.
So this year for us, high-level goals for gameplay were to really focus on the balance of the game, bringing back EA Sports Hockey League. We're bringing back all these different modes. Knew they're going to have a lot of people back playing Be a Pro, with some the next shift back and stuff like that. So a big goal to have the game fun to play from every position, and really what that meant was just that you had ultimate control. So when we look back at some of the core mechanics in around sort of skating, passing, shooting, we knew we needed to sort of make at least some tweaks to all those pieces. And when we looked at being able to move the puck around as a team, be able to set up on a power play, and that's really where sort of the EA Sports Hockey League experience really shines, getting a group of 6 guys together that can really move the puck and play well as a team. So the puck pickups really came from just sort of how important it was to get that first step after you get the puck. So being able to go puck's loose against the boards, you're not stuck now picking up the puck, crashing into the boards, and then having to make a play. You can actually stop as you're picking up the puck, which gains you maybe that step. And there's a goal right there.
Not
only good at stopping pucks, he can bury it too.
Yeah.
Oh, there's my new mascot.
There's your new guy, your mascot.
Yeah, so just in all cases, it's really about getting that extra step, and it should feel pretty intuitive too, because when you're playing those stopping pickups, it's really just you're starting to press the other way as you're playing that pickup, and it'll just happen naturally. And being able to sort of turn through the puck, not as locked into kind of that glide and losing that precious time to be able to get on to the next thing. So
Playing Ford style, dump and chase.
But yeah, guys. Also, we have some giveaways that we're gonna be doing today during the stream. The way to enter in is just go on Twitter and with the hashtag NHL16 Twitch. And we got some cool stuff. We got an Elgato capture card, a couple pairs of Astro A40 headphones, and some copies of NHL16. So all you have to do is just go on Twitch, hashtag NHL16 Twitch. That's all you have to do to enter. So, how are you liking it?
Oh,
Any
it's
first
awesome.
impressions?
Yeah.
It's awesome. I'm pretty good at it too. Oh, just because of that. Oh,
nice. Say that out. Is that your first save as a Hurricane?
Yeah, I think it was Lyndon Vey too. It's easy. There's gonna be a lot of chirps against ex-teammates that can't answer back.
Oh,
big stop.
How many games?
Come on, Yannick, stand up.
How much time you spent playing games over the off season?
Off season, not very much.
Yeah.
During the season though, like a lot, yeah. A lot, especially on like road trips and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I got the portable TV and stuff going, so yeah, it's a lot.
Take it on the plane?
Yeah, the guys weren't very happy with me last year.
Got any like stories about that?
Well, I think it was like Burroughs and Dorsett. They weren't too happy. There was my second year in the league, and I pulled like a cord through the whole plane to be able to play on the plane, you know. And they're like, oh my god, this guy got like 40 games in the league, and he's already like, where is this gonna end, you know?
And then they came and joined you, right?
Yeah. Well, me and Lyndon Vey played a lot, so.
I got another question, Eddie. What was it like to record mocap?
It was cool. I mean, just to be part of the game is so cool, and yeah, just I don't know how many hours we did it, like 3 hours.
3-4 hours, yeah.
Yeah, and just to it was so much different stuff that I did too, like celebrations and stuff like that too, and shootouts as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely a fun day.
So you did enjoy it?
Yeah.
It was interesting because like we've never had NHL talent come out and help us with motion capture, just because when we do motion captures, typically during the NHL season, and during the summertime, Eddie came by here and said, I'd love to do it. I'd love to do motion capture. Like so. We're pretty fortunate that it worked out. It actually worked out. It was a Wednesday between 2 game days.
Yeah.
We got the okay.
The best part for us was the compete level. I don't think he let in the shot even in the
Oh,
entire
yeah.
mocap. And there was like that one last shot in the shootout. It was like trickling through, and you sort of scrambled back to the goal line and proved that it hadn't made it through. So you made it through the whole day with a clean record, which is pretty impressive in a mocap shoot because that's a lot of shots.
Now you're being nice to me. I know you could have saved that one. You scored that one.
Or I'm going to try and get one back here. Or it gets too late.
Also, guys, if you'd like to ask some questions in the chat, go ahead. Feel free to. Any good questions I'd like to ask these guys? So.
I'm winning. that's like my two only moves I have though. It's like the slap shot and then the pass across back door. That's like my plays.
That's your play.
Yeah. Eddie, what's your favorite thing about Carolina area so far?
I haven't actually been there yet.
You haven't been there?
Yeah.
Really?
So I'm actually, this is my last day here, so I'm leaving tomorrow. And yeah, I already picked out an apartment and stuff where most of the guys live. So yeah, I'm gonna have to wait a week to answer that question.
Yeah.
But I would say the hockey arena then, because that's the only thing I've seen so far. So. Go.
You posted a picture with a couple of your teammates. Where was that?
Back in Sweden.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
That's what we thought you were in Carolina.
Most people actually did.
Yeah.
They're like, are you in Carolina now? And I'm like, no.
That's a good question. Is every goal horn accurate?
Yeah, so we've been going through that last couple days. So our intention is that every single goal horn is 100% accurate, and we can get into that a little bit. So within our game in general, in terms of authenticity, we go for authenticity across the board. So whether it's Eddie's head in the game, obviously he's sitting right here, his head's not in the actual game, it's a representation. Same with all the jerseys and the arenas and stuff like that. So it was our intention for sure to have all the goal horns, but we know we've got some really extreme sort of fanatic fans out there. So we're taking a look at that again to make sure that we've got them as accurate as possible. But yeah, so like when it came to like the Rangers and stuff like that, it is with our intention, and we listened to them a lot and had guys pay attention, and we even sent stuff through the Rangers, and they were pretty happy with the results themselves. So, but we understand sort of the level that people go to, and that's why we continue to upgrade player faces and jerseys, and we've heard about jersey colors, like when we think we've got the blue just right, but people know their jerseys. So I think we'll treat goal horns the same. The intention is that they're 100% authentic, but we'll take the feedback and we'll take a look at the ones that people think that we can continue to improve, and we're really happy this year to get goal songs in there.
So there are goal songs too now.
Yeah, a bunch of the teams have their authentic goal songs. Sometimes it's tough for us to get all the different bands and stuff in there, but we've done our best to get a bunch, and really cool experience. With St. Louis, we actually got in touch with the organist himself, so we've got the actual organ ditty in there, and a bunch of really cool sort of flavors in there where they sort of ring the toll and stuff for the amount of goals that they score, and some different things like that. And you'll see some different accents across the different teams. It's not just the horns and songs, it's some extra little flavors depending on if it's something that happens during the power play or when their team takes a penalty, some little organ music sometimes that plays in some of the arenas in some of those situations. We've got little hints to some of those things.
Here comes the Carolina goal song.
Takes the authenticity up. Holy smokes. But that's exactly where we want to continue to take feedback from the community.
I would have walked away if you called that what it is.
Keep getting told where we can be better, so we'll keep chipping away.
I'm getting a lot of questions about like what we're going to be doing throughout the day. After this, we're going to be doing Be a Pro, and then we're going to hop into some Hockey Ultimate Team, and then Be a GM, and then we're going to finish it off with EASHL.
I would say for the next, when Eddie and I finish this game up, when I finish my comeback, if any kind of gameplay presentation questions while we have Ben here, now's the time to ask them. And then as we get into each one of the modes, we'll bring each of the other producers on, and we can get into more detail for each one of those.
Yes. Oh, big stuff.
Rating's too high.
Well, I tried to find a question if you want to maybe talk about some other gameplay features.
Yeah, so the other big one was in skating. We had some people, especially after the beta, sort of wondering sort of like how sort of having precision skating and how that would work for them. And the overall concept for precision skating didn't really come from just, hey, we need to add in this new feature. It really came from a higher level of just how can we give every player more control on the ice, and that was whether you're sort of like off wing opening up for a one-timer, or whether you're a defender trying to defend in front of the net. So it was just really having stronger control. So that also came down to just being able to stop, hold a position. It was facing angles and all that stuff. And then we look at precision skating as a new feature. that's sort of where the strafes and the side steps and stuff like that come into play. So that's really kind of a piece to the puzzle in terms of more control when skating. And that's the main piece that when you see in videos, because it's really new in terms of the animation side, but what should feel good to people when it comes to precision skating is just the how much more control you have of your player, whether that's using the newest sidestep and strafe animations or not. People have a better time playing defense now just with just that amount of attention to control and facing. And then obviously being able to do the strafes themselves, because we did do a very good job in the past of moving at slow speeds. We did high speed really well, but a lot of the time when you just try to move over a bit, your players' skates would just kind of swim in place and you wouldn't go anywhere. So now you actually have the ability to move over just the shoulders width if you need to. So, and we talked about it a lot on defense, but really I find that when it's gotten people's hands, they use it the most sort of when opening up off wing for one-timers, just being able to be with your stick up and be able to move now as opposed to being locked in is a big addition.
Yeah. First person to score a goal on you in a Carolina uniform?
Yeah.
It's just sitting there.
I'll be really happy if he has to wait until January 6th.
Will there be 3-on-3 overtime in NHL16?
No.
No. Okay.
That's something we're working on. Obviously, when the rules came down, we'd already locked the feature set and kind of what we could do. But it's our job to be as authentic as possible. So we're looking at that for the future. Obviously, it's part of hockey. It's something that we need to put in there.
We've got the authentic HL overtime in there, though, for lunch. So that might be something that people play around with sort of in the meantime if they want to play with something that's closer to that kind of that style as opposed to just the traditional 4-on-4 in the shootouts. Yeah,
obviously, just I guess for people watching, a little bit just on the development process and the timeline and stuff like that, we typically have to lock everything that's in the game and kind of get the game off for this final certifications and tests before it goes live around like mid-July. So everything that happens after that in the world of hockey, roster changes, stuff like that, we're able to update for roster updates, and then everything else that happens, we have to look to figure out how we can get into the product or the following year. I know some people have seen comments of people saying that we have up until September 14th to work on the game, which actually isn't the case, because you think about just the final test, and we have to print the discs and get the discs out to the stores and all that stuff before September 15th. So just a little bit of education on the timeline piece of things.
I'm so smooth. No. Holding on.
16 minutes.
What are we playing for?
As you're up a goal, you want to now lay down the bet?
Yeah.
I remember last time we put a bet, something on the line, I believe I won, just for the record, right?
Yeah, I know, but I won the actual tournament. You just won a game.
I won the head-to-head. We're talking fantasy football, by the way.
Oh. Philip Rivers had a bad night. Killed me.
Yeah.
So will we be able to switch menu music?
No, so for this year, we focused, it's still the orchestral themes within the menus, and we put a big focus because of the attention to authenticity. There was a big focus on getting the authentic goal music and stuff for the team, so when we sort of built out our soundtrack, a lot of it was dedicated to that. We still do have a core soundtrack, but a lot of that is in arena music, and you'll hear it for some of the teams that either don't have their authentic goal horns or through other stoppages and stuff in arena, and you'll still hear, there's been some changes, slight changes to it, but overall it's similar orchestral themes to what was heard in NHL15 in terms of in the menus itself.
Do I have Hannifin?
Not yet.
No.
Yeah, they got to, so rookies got to play a shift in an official regular season NHL game before we can actually put them in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Eddie, what are you looking forward to most in Carolina?
I mean, just to get there and the opportunity to play. I feel like I have a good opportunity there, and just to getting there and getting to know my new teammates and everything. I feel like that's gonna be that's definitely something I look forward to.
Dragging the court through there playing.
Yeah.
Setting up your kit, right?
what's Eddie Lack's overall? I think it's 84.
84, the same as last year.
Yeah. Will crowd chants be in the game?
Yeah, so we did a lot of work around crowd chants, and that's where I talk about kind of some of the, all the way from some of the subtle things to some major things for the different teams. We went through and we worked really closely with NBC to get some pretty good representations of crowd chants, especially from some of the teams that were in the playoffs this year. So some really good energy, especially in some of the buildings when we had such great reference material.
Is the Eddie chance going to be in Carolina or no?
I'm not sure if it's we have to see what they do.
I know.
Hope so. We'll see when you come back to Vancouver or what the chance are too. If they
Maybe we want Lou like the Heritage Classic.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, wow.
Look at that.
Package. Who's had a game?
Tracking the puck.
Yeah.
Drag the puck.
Bravo.
It's even looking better than me in real life.
All the best stuff from the vocab.
All right, for EASHL, will each team be able to choose their horn and goal song?
I'm awful with fights.
No, but we're actually that's one of those things where we're listening to the community now that we've offered that kind of stuff up. That's something now. Like we focused a lot on when we did the survey that went out to the community. The number one thing was sort of all the individual characteristics of each player. So we really focused on create player first and foremost, and drove sort of that superstar authenticity, making sure that we could make our authentic NHL players more authentic, at the same time expose all that stuff for people in the eSports Hockey League. But the next step is definitely to start thinking about what's needed for a team and start building around that as well. And what was there for the beta in terms of customization for player and team is what will be there for the product. But that's the perfect thing now that people have had their hands on it and trying to think about what's that next best thing. And the horns and goal songs and things like that are definitely part of the wish list right now that we're hearing from people.
So in EASHL, if you say choose an NHL team, will say if that goal horn and will that be the same in EASHL?
No, so right now you're playing within a specific eSports Hockey League arena. The one thing that will follow you if you pick up an NHL team will be the mascot will be there. But they're essentially following you to sort of a standard eSports Hockey League
lots of time.
arena, as opposed to jumping from building to building.
You're still taller than me.
Oh. They told me to be nice to the guest. It's part of the program.
I'm sure you're going to get your revenge before this day's over.
You're not leaving till we play again.
Good job.
Good win.
Good win.
Oh,
Oh, there
so
you go. First win. Look at that. You missed the Selly.
You just did the
Oh.
You missed the Selly.
I think I'll see it again before this day's over,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Probably not. There you go. Look at this. Little close game.
Look at that.
That is really cool.
It's kind of funny.
So that's another example of stuff we did on the press side.
Yeah.
Some
So I was
post-game
there
celebrations. So
to
for the teams that are known for saluting their crowd or different things like that, and as we just saw, Eddie doing his
saluting at the crowd.
the shuffle.
I was
So
there for that.
we got some little things there depending
Yeah.
on some of the
We know the
goalies that are in the
celebration.
net or the team themselves and sort of how they incorporate their mascot or not and that kind of thing.
It's a lot of real subtle things that really do make a difference.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that should change a lot for people playing through a GM season, what makes it different playing in one building versus another, and then for people who really know their team well too, they should be seeing some subtle details that make their experience when they go to their home arena as authentic as possible.
A lot of people are asking about drop-in games. Will that?
Yeah, so we've got we still have OTP in the product, but that's with NHL players. But yeah, in terms of sort of listening to the community after the beta, we're building up wish lists and seeing sort of when that sort of can get into the product. But right now, yeah, drop-ins aren't in there. But definitely hearing the community loud and clear in terms of that being the next step for the first and foremost is to get the eSports Hockey League up and running and get to that spot where we can start getting feedback on both the mode and core gameplay, and I think things like that are a natural extension for us to figure out where we go in the future.
Yeah.
Do we want to switch up to some Be a Pro now? We haven't shown a lot of Be a Pro to our fans, so we can do some Be a Pro. Is Andy coming in? Gary coming in?
Tag, you're it. Okay, jump into the spot.
Sure.
Eddie, Andy.
Hey, we're
Gary coming in too? Gary, Eddie.
Let's go, Eddie.
yeah, jump in.
There. I'll throw this over to you guys.
Clicker.
So I say feel free to fire away with any Be a Pro questions you have. Like I said, we haven't shown a whole lot of Be a Pro. Haven't really done any walkthroughs. So now's your chance to ask any questions you want. We got Andy Agostini and Gerd Sumo, our game modes producers, Be a GM and Be a Pro, but we'll start with Be a Pro.
Okay.
Yeah, so this year with Be a Pro, we wanted to relook at how a player grows as a hockey player. Mainly in the past, we had the ability to assign experience points that you got to anything. Didn't matter what you did in the game, you could assign it to anything outside of the game. But in real life, the more you do something in a sport or at a skill, you're actually going to improve in that one area. So we focused on making it so that if you want to be a physical player and all you do is hit and get into fights and do all that kind of physical activity, you're going to actually get really good at the physical part of your game. And then on the other hand, if you want to be a skilled player and you're making great passes to your teammates who are putting in goals and playing decent defense, you're going to actually improve in playmaking and become a really great playmaker. Obviously, the goal is that to be the best player in the world, you would have to be the ultimate player to try and get yourself at the highest level in all the areas so that your game is at its max. Obviously, I don't think the perfect hockey player has ever been created, but in our game you can definitely try. So
You got Eddie as a power forward? Is that what
Eddie has a
what we're
power
doing right
forward,
now?
yeah.
Wow.
Power forward center.
Eddie's size would make sense for a power forward.
So in this screen here, you'll notice that there's 6 categories. So we ramped this screen up, and as you actually gain experience or lose experience, you'll actually see the difference between the two. Each player type you pick will also start off at different levels. So you can see that here, the physical attribute of the power forward is a lot higher than, say, a sniper would be. A sniper would have higher shooting than a power forward. So as you start off your careers in the player type you pick, also helps shape the way your player also plays. You also, depending on the age of your player, so if you start off in the CHL, for example, your overall will be a little bit lower because of that. And if the taller your player and the more smaller your player is, they'll actually affect the speed and strength of the player as well.
How slow is Eddie going to be? Because he's 6'11".
It'll make a bit of a difference, but it won't be to the point where. So his base rating should be about 80. He's been knocked down because he's a little bit taller.
I don't have very good hockey sense. I see it there.
We can work on that.
Power forwards just
Yeah.
take a little while to
Yeah.
get their hockey senses going fully.
Oh, so you can train it too. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes.
on top of that, you'll be given player training once a week. And basically you could train your player the way that you want him to in attributes that may be a little bit more difficult in the game. So you can you can pick between lateral movement drills and all that stuff, and it'll affect different attributes differently, and the amount of experience you get will also be different. This comes up once a week, and it also depends on how many games you have in a week. So the more games you have in a week, the less training time you have, which means in the off season you get a lot more training time, and then during the regular season you get a lot less training time. Coaches will also give you assigned stuff. So because you're a center, it's going to assign you face-offs because your guy's a little bit lower face-offs. And you'll be asked to do that once a week. Eddie, do you want to get into game?
Yeah, sure.
So yeah,
Go to it.
yeah, 1 second. We're just gonna
Yep.
turn off the notifications.
Just a question.
Sure.
If that's will we be able to request trades and be a pro?
In this year's game, no, you would not be able to. We wanted to focus on the player progression aspect and really fully fleshing that out and getting the on-ice gameplay element to be as polished as possible.
Definitely on the radar, though. I know
Yeah,
I hear
yeah,
big
it's
fans all the time.
yeah.
They want that ability, so
Yeah. It's definitely something that we would like to get in for sure.
But
Do
with
you
the
play a lot of
game,
people?
with
Do
the
you play much
game,
Pro?
this year we brought back
So
the
you
ability to
locked
go through the CHL, go through the Memorial Cup and go into the draft, as well as pick your own team and play, and then go through the system of that team. In the past, we only had the ability just to pick the NHL team and right away be on that team. So we did give you some layers of ability to tune how you want to play the game.
Yeah.
So.
Is this one?
If you
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
we also brought back. Try another circle.
Yeah, so you're sitting on the bench.
So we also brought back Sim the Next Shift, which was very requested last year. So this will help speed through the process and give you more accurate stats throughout your BA Pro career.
31 is not a good player number.
Is there player morale in Be a Pro?
No, at this time not. It is something that with how we've built it, it's something to look at in the future. As you are an individual on a team, I think your control over what we built in BAGM is a little bit different. So I think to just take that system and bring it over would be not exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah.
So I think it would need
We're
some
not
work
gonna-
to play
the
the
back
BA Pro
check.
properly. I think that's why we said we'll focus on that for BAGM and then look into what we potentially could do in the future with BA Pro.
Whoa, I'm gonna get 4 shifts superior. That's not very good.
It's only because you're used to standing there for all
Yeah.
60 minutes.
The whole face-off win. It's gonna make the coach happy. Yes.
You can call for pass.
Oh, I
Press
can?
pass. Yeah, you press the pass button and call for pass.
Yeah, I'm not changing. Keep it in this.
So-
Oh, man.
You also saw there quickly that there's coaching feedback, so we redid the coaching feedback system as well. So you'd get a lot more contextual stuff to the way you're sort of playing on the ice, and then the coach will try to help you become a better player on the ice and as well as in other areas of the game. And just teaching you how to play the game of hockey as well.
So depending on what you're doing on the ice, you're going to see. That was a good tip. Oh, you guys turned notifications off?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you have the notifications on, you're actually going to see everything that you do will give you an experience points and what you did. So that way you have the messaging going on as you're playing that, oh, I got 25 experience in blocking a shot, 5 for making a pass, and thus that will all be added in at the end of the game, added back into your character, and it will actually start going towards each of the individual attributes. For attributes like skating, which are not necessarily something that you can improve on in a game, that's what the off-ice training is for, to actually assign to areas that you want to continue improving on, or other areas that you're like, oh, I want to improve my skating or agility. That's where the off-ice training is the part of the
This
game.
is sick.
So
Just so you can get experience playing the game and also off the ice.
yes.
You can put your stats the way you want them.
Yeah.
Sure. So if you've just not been blocking many shots and you're like, hey, I still want to improve that, you could spend some time out of your weekly hours to put it towards that, or just focus on, hey, I just want to be improving on my strength, and you can put it there. So it's your way of fine tuning your growth, because sometimes game situations aren't going to let you do exactly what you want to grow in. So, and that's the organic nature of the new progression system.
We should turn them on after the period, just so you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's that guy?
This preseason.
It's preseason. Probably
So it's probably one of their minor league guys
Yeah.
playing in preseason.
How are your skills outside of the net in real life?
My shot is not very good, but like my skating's pretty good, I feel like, and my technique, I just can't really, especially slap shots, I'm awful.
How injuries factor into training?
So,
when you're the BA Pro, you'll get a little bit more if you're
Yeah.
injured.
Yes.
you'll-
So
and you're,
second assist or
'cause
what?
in BA Pro, you're
Should be
more
on board.
day-to-day injured than in BAGM. You'll get a little bit more time to actually rehab and actually do some
No,
off-ice
third
training
one.
for it. So I'll still be able to gain that extra bit of experience.
So if you are injured, you can still gain experience.
Yes, because most of the injuries in Be a Pro are more day to day.
Yeah.
+1 though.
+1. Start.
And that will actually factor in at the end. 'Cause
Yeah.
You're doing things. So you got a +1, and at the end of the game, there'll be extra experience.
Can you be traded in general?
Yes, so we are still running logic. You will be traded if the GM chooses to trade you.
That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
the tip.
Moving it back around.
Getting the hang of it.
It's a bit jarring from the normal
Yeah.
5 experience, right?
Be a Pro is a great experience. The thing is that when you play 5-on-5 or the versus mode all the time, and then you go to this and you're just one individual player,
Yeah.
it feels a little odd because you're so used to just controlling everybody. But it is a pretty cool experience to try and get into when you start playing as a one guy.
So we'll re-enable the
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna able to be.
This is way easier than the basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people like. Turning up the settings on. A lot of people like when they pick up the game for the guys who aren't experienced. When they pick up the game or casual hockey fans, they play Be a Pro because you don't need to worry about player switching, who you're going to switch to.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, it's just a lot to happen with all the player switching. So just, you focus on your one guy, you just get your one guy around. You always know where he's going to be. You take him to the bench.
So it's good for me.
Yes, stamina is being shown. It is blocked by the camera. There is a stamina bar.
Score a goal, player on the app. Nice.
So now we should,
the stamina bar is down there to your left.
Yeah.
so now we should start seeing control hints and all the visualizations coming on. So as Eddie is now doing actions, he'll start getting feedback instantly about XP he's gaining, XP he's losing throughout the course of the game.
And also, the coach feedback provides things for you to do that will get you some bonus XP. And the idea being that the coach is telling you, hey, do this. And then if you manage to do that during the game. And it's not built in a way to be like an Uber goal that's what you necessarily have to do. But it is the idea of like it's part of the game. So if your team is losing or if your team is winning, it'll say, hey, defend the slot or do something like that where you actually go do it. And then you'll get some extra XP for it.
You're fatigued. You're fatiguing quick. How's your cardio?
Guess I haven't done much this summer. Oh, keeping me out there.
A little full of confidence.
Help me, boys. Oh, kidding, apparently. It's my favorite.
So as you can see, you know, Eddie's earning XP for almost everything he does on the ice. It just provides that. It provides you. It actually shows you what you're improving in quite quickly in a game. So if it's a game that you've ended up being very physical in because of the situations around you, you actually start to see that, hey, my guy's actually improving quite a bit in hitting and the physical areas. And if you start scoring goals, you're going to get lots of points in the skill areas.
Yeah, you'll get a summary at the end of every game explaining to you what you've gained XP in. Some of it is also tied into your coaching feedback. So if you guys have noticed that when Eddie gets back to the bench, he has an overall target. The more you meet your target as a player, you will get potentially an XP multiplier or lose XP as a part of that. So the more of the team element type of game that you're playing, the more you're trying to set up teammates and all that kind of stuff sort of feeds into how much XP you're getting.
Keep those long shifts going.
I'm working.
So that said, like, plus 25 there. Like, how many XP do you usually get during a game, like a good game?
So you can get anywhere from, in total, you can get anywhere from like 1,000. I've gotten 2,000 in the game.
Yeah.
But we do cap the amount that you can get, so growth doesn't get too out of whack. But we do give you an amount that will allow you to grow quicker because you are performing at a higher level.
So the goal is so that if a person decides to make 50 passes just to improve passing, at some point in a game, you don't want it to become a game about passing. You want it to be hockey. So the goal is to say there's a min 0 and then there's a max of every stat that you can earn. So you can max out in a game, and that would be your maximum XP. I don't think anyone's ever really maxed it out for everything. It's just too hard to do. The game is organic. You don't really know what's going to happen for you. So yes, it's built on an idea that there is a max.
In some games, you may be able to go around and throw a couple hits, and some games you won't be, because depending on where you're on the forecheck or how quickly the defenseman moves the puck out. So it all depends on the organicness of the game itself.
So it's like if you just want to constantly pass the puck and try to farm experience, you can't.
At some point, it'll just max out, and then that'll be it. And you gotta play hockey.
And a lot of the attributes themselves have enough knowledge of what you're sort of doing, so you can't sort of stand in your own zone and just do sort of and farm the XP out of that. You actually have to sort of go one-on-one with the guy. Trying to get the guy.
The programmer that helped put this aspect together, we understood the idea that we don't want it to be, to improve in this, you just do this little thing over here in the corner. We wanted it to be that it's to be improved during the actual flow of the game. And I think that brings out the fact that situations arise in real hockey, and as you do things, you're going to get skilled at it. So that's what we wanted to bring out with the mode.
And the other factor is if you start, losing the puck on those leaks, or you'll actually start losing XP off of stuff too. So you sort of want to be doing it at a time where you know that it's going to be sort of successful for you to actually do it.
Are the contracts and free agency similar to the past years?
Yes. Something again that we know that we would like to look at in the future, and work on that area as well. So you'll have the options of teams looking to sign you, and then you'll choose a team that will be your new home, or resigning with the team that you're currently.
Can you play as players in real life and be a pro if you choose to?
No.
We wanted to stick with your player and drive that story of progressing through your career.
That doesn't mean you can't lock.
Yeah.
In regular games, you can lock. If you're playing in BGM, you can lock a position and play with that position, so you play with the guy more often.
But in BGM or be a pro, you can't select an
yes,
NHL
it's
player.
your character that you're going to go out there and play.
Protect the lead.
Yeah. I don't play my own end though, then I change. I just change. Oh man.
So here's a question for you, Eddie, just as someone looking at be a pro. Do you physically see the change of players in front of you over the course of a season? Like a kid plays, he's 22, he's on your team, he's got a job in the NHL. From the beginning to the end of the year, as you are watching the game from an angle that's way closer than anyone else.
Yeah, no, like just making an example, like Bo Horvath last year, it was just like amazing seeing him, and just to like compare beginning of the season to the end, just like the confidence that he's carrying with him, like he was just having a fantastic year. So yeah, it was really fun watching him.
And how much of that was kind of skills progressing, or versus confidence? It was just confidence and getting up to the speed of the game.
Both. Both. Yeah. I mean, he's definitely one of the guys that works extra after each practice and stuff.
Yeah.
Too. So yeah, it's kind of like in the game too. You, like the more you work on something, the better you get. So it's just.
Is there one thing that you worked on specifically in this off season?
Puck tracking, yeah.
Puck tracking?
More like the way my head and body moves come right to where the puck is.
Yeah.
I mean, it might sound a little bit weird, but it's definitely something that helped me a lot.
Is it working on just like the efficiency of the movement?
Yeah.
When you puck track, is that what it is? Just trying to be as tight as possible.
Yeah.
So one other thing to mention is when you're a goalie, depending on the depending on the saves you're making, you know how you have different areas of the net that you're covering. It will actually keep track of making a save on the right. Your glove hand was used, your blocker. So you're going to improve in the different areas. So if the other team never shoots on your glove hand side, then for that game you're not going to get much experience in that area. But if you keep making saves with your blocker, you're gonna start improving in blocker. So it is, again, even as a goalie, you're going to see the improvements depending on what's happening around you on the ice.
Yeah, you see, if you're making saves through screenshots, you'll get added XP for vision. Making stops and breakaways, you'll get more XP gain for your breakaway. So a lot of that stuff all transfers over to the goaltending as well. And you'll get coach feedback based stuff.
I'm not very good at face-offs. They're gonna put me on the wing for the next game.
It's the preseason. They're gonna let you try to figure it out.
Bad call for pass.
Yeah, you're.
I'm everywhere now. Come on, boys. Hit someone. There we go. Oh, I'm tired. It's a Gatorade. Oh man, just a minute on the bench. They're really pushing me.
In the preseason, you're given a lot more ice time.
Yeah.
Once you make the team full time, then you fall back into like third line, fourth line to begin with, and go from there. They just want to see your skills as much as possible.
One of the cool things is when you're playing like a fuller season through the CHL and then get drafted, where you actually get drafted will actually depend on where you actually start in the preseason. So if you're the first overall pick, you'll get all the opportunity to actually make the team. But if you're like that 7th round pick, you'll have a lot less of a shot.
Yeah, preseason games.
You'll get less ice time.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can't
Change.
So the example, Connor McDavid is probably going to be given his 5 or 6 games in preseason and play that first, second line. He'd never be a third or fourth liner in preseason. And then someone like a 5th round pick that's showing up at camp, he'll play a couple games, but it'll probably be at a third line role, fourth line, so he gets less ice time. We kind of mimic that idea of you're a top prospect, you're going to get a lot of ice to give it a shot.
You'll still play as many games per se, but you'll get a lot less ice time. You may be on the third line as opposed to the first line, that kind of stuff.
So once we complete the game, as long as we don't get into overtime, you'll see the XP screen that shows you the areas that you've grown in and gives you a good synopsis of what you've done. I just got stick lifted.
And it's been happening for the last 20 minutes.
Good to see both the dots for the first time this game.
It's a good spot.
Big hit. I'm a power forward. I gotta use my body.
you can't get drafted like to the CHL. You have to pick a team to start in the CHL.
Yes. So you pick one of the 3 leagues that we have.
Yeah. So you have a choice of 60 teams from the CHL and then from there.
Always have to see it.
Yeah.
You didn't go for the CHL, you
No.
yeah.
Player suspensions and game misconducts in Be a Pro?
No, at this point, no. It is, again, something that would actually work in more than just Be a Pro. So as we move forward and continue with our depth and breadth, we're going to look into that. That's something that we've been different times talking about. So.
Your last shift of the game right here.
Did I have a good game or what?
We'll see.
I think it was pretty good.
I think it wasn't that bad.
Your back check is a little suspect.
Oh, minus.
No goal. That's good.
They're reviewing it.
Oh, wow.
So it was a little tight to the goal.
It's a bad call.
Yeah.
I wonder if he touched him. I couldn't see from that angle.
Oh, yeah, he bumped
Yeah.
it in there.
Into him a bit.
This goalie's huge.
Yeah.
He's very wide.
Goal or no goal?
Uh-oh.
No goal.
No goal. Lucky. Okay, there you go.
That was my last shift, probably.
You'll get used to seeing some old Williams
Yeah.
jerseys.
One more shift.
See what happens.
Oh.
Call it a
Game done.
So after the NIS here, you should get a screen showing your performance and let you cycle through and see what you did well in and what you didn't do well in.
Yeah.
They'll give you a good idea of what to sort of work on, basically.
And there we have the one of the new presentation elements of the salute from Carolina with the mascot.
Yeah, mascot strut.
Can you earn captaincies?
Yes, it runs through the normal logic that you would in be a GM.
Okay.
So depending on how good your player is, how many years he's been in the game as well, it'll have an effect. And here's the in-game performance screen. So you'll actually see this outside as well, which will track out how much you earned in a week between off-ice training, in-game, and sim XP. So if you sim games, you also get a little bit of XP out of that as well. So as you can see, Eddie's did relatively okay, except for wrist shot accuracy, where he lost -5, and his durability went down.
Defense wasn't very good either.
No,
As
no.
expected.
But it wasn't that bad of a game.
You got a multiplier of 1.1.
Yeah.
So you can actually go down in stats
Yeah,
as well.
you can
Yes.
actually go down in stats.
So if you make bad passes or ask for bad passes, I mean that will affect your player negatively. So the goal is, the goal was also to like you said, it's farming. But if you farm and at a certain point start to do something poorly, it will start to deteriorate.
Yeah.
So you don't get the max. So it's not like you max out and you're done. It could actually affect you.
Yeah, and then you have the 3. So because Eddie was below target in offense and team play, he didn't get the maximum amount of multiplier that he could have
Yeah.
for his overall multiplier.
Yeah. So that's the new player progression from our side. There's a lot of nuance to it. Once you start playing and getting through some games, you're actually going to see that how you play is actually how you grow, and that's true to life. If you stand in front of a garage and just take wrist shots for hours a day, you're going to get good at wrist shot. That's exactly what we're going to bring out to the user. So yeah.
Sweet.
Cool. Good job, guys. We're moving along. Keep going. Awesome. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Gary. We're going to keep it going. Let's get into some Hockey Ultimate Team. I know we had a bunch of questions earlier.
This is what everyone's asking about now. So now's your time if you got some hot questions.
We'll get
Now's your time.
Clem Eddie.
to ask
Clem.
them.
See you.
Clem Kwong, Hockey Ultimate Team producer.
Yes.
You've got a barrage of questions for you.
You're gonna have a
do it.
lot. You're gonna have
Let's
a
do
lot.
this.
Do you want to hop into Hut and then
If you want to maybe just say some things about Hockey Ultimate Team this year.
Yeah, so for Hut this year, what's new to the mode? We wanted to really add new ways to play the game, and hearing from our fans, I know Player Friend was one of the most requested features. So happy to say that's back in. We had some new functionality, so we'll get to that in a moment.
There's a really big feature with the Player Friend that I'd love to check out. Show everybody.
Yeah, it's you know what? It's a small feature, but talking to the game changers,
This is like my
really
favorite
enjoy
thing,
it.
honestly.
the Play Friend?
Yeah,
Or
the
Hut?
Play Friend and like the features for it. I love
Yeah.
it. It's my favorite thing. I was so excited when that was added.
And so other than Player Friend, like I mentioned, focusing on new ways to play the game. I can kind of highlight it now, but single player seasons, being able to, it's really for those guys that either, want more variety. Want more variety in their game mode experience, or those new players looking to, they've heard about Hot, they've heard about why the mode is so fun and engaging, and they want to get into it, but they don't want to necessarily play online. Then single player seasons is where they want to start. So, do we want to go into that right now, or how do we?
It's up to you, honestly.
All right.
Keep going, yeah.
Yeah. Just keep going.
Let's take a look at Rookie, for example. So the basis of single player seasons is essentially a tournament engine underneath. So those who've played on Xbox 360 or PS3 will understand that feature very well. It was also one of the, it's kind of 50-50 of the community. It was like a lot of people want the tournaments back, but also a lot of people understood that tournaments weren't very popular. Kind of split the community in terms of seasons and tournaments. So with single player seasons, what we were able to bring in was that tournament flavor, being able to allow the community to build more interesting teams. So for this one, there are no entry requirements. But for example, a lot of guys will remember the past is okay. You can't have more than 3 goal players, or you have to have exactly 5 Swedish players. Things like that. When we go live, the live team will start putting together more and more interesting tournaments and offline seasons that's built around a lot of our content that we're rolling out throughout the year. So personally, I'm quite excited about it because, like I said, it allows people to build more interesting teams, but allows us to also make playing offline more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So right here, for example, how it works is it's basically a 10 game schedule for now. That's obviously tunable based on how well that works. But we set offline opponents based on difficulty rating. So each tournament, if you will, in offline single player seasons, will have a difficulty rating based on the team schedule that you're playing. So basically, you're going through the schedule, you're playing the team, and much like the online season structure, you're trying to promote yourself up the ladder. So in a nutshell, that's pretty much it in terms of coin rewards for playing. That's very similar. Those familiar with seasons, again, you'll see the division bonuses for promotion and achieving the division title. So that'll feel very familiar. And then there's some, we haven't played yet, but tracking your single player season stats. So without going, so I won't go into game right now because I want to give a chance. I want to give a chance to have Eddie show us his the team that he wants to go. If we want to go that, since we do have a VIP here. So I'll hand it over.
Have you played some HUT, Eddie?
I've only played it on FIFA.
Yeah.
I haven't played it here.
Where do you want to go, Clem?
You want to go edit lines?
Oh, we want to fill your starting lineup? Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah, Kessler's not going in there for sure.
Who's your, so if you're making your ultimate team of existing current players in the NHL, who's your starting center? Who's your starting left wing? Who's your starting right wing?
Well, I'll probably have Crosby in there.
Yeah. Should we build that right now?
Yeah. Let's go to line 1 and see who you want to put in that slot.
Oh, line 1. There we go.
So you put Crosby at center?
Yeah.
There he is. Who's on your wings?
Who's a player you least like seeing come down the wing?
You'll see.
There's a lot of comments about lower overalls in Hockey Ultimate Team. If you maybe want to elaborate about that.
Yeah. So so you guys have seen the ratings a bit here. It's not all lower per se. The context for that is, yes, the rating, there's some subtle differences between the offline and what you see here in HUT. And the reason the reason for that is because the overall system is actually calculated differently in HUT. Most obvious, there's 6 main categories in offline versus the 5, so the attributes are weighted differently. So that's the key thing. Is that
search. There we go.
That explains the difference. And then also for those 6 categories, there's underlying stats. So there's 30 plus stats with skating, shooting, agility, etc. And those are calculated differently.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Ovechkin on the left wing.
I mean, at the end of the day, what will matter most to our fans is knowing that on the ice they'll play the same.
They'll play the same. So they're basically the same cards, like the same statistics as offline play.
Yeah.
The overalls are just different.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Yeah.
By the same by the same token, when we do increase their stats during the year with Team of the Week or Player of the Game, etc., we are increasing their base stats as well. So then they're playing obviously better than their base game player.
Plus with this, I mean, there's more room to add more special cards as well.
About,
Yes.
Because I know Crosby was a 96 last year, and I mean, there was multiple releases of 99s.
Yeah.
So now there's a lot
I'm
more
gonna
room.
keep myself.
Yeah,
keep yourself.
Yeah,
keep
and
yourself.
that's I'm talking over you here, buddy.
Oh,
I'm
it's
so
sorry.
The
What's the
second thing
Ds?
as well excuse me, is the just the
Louis.
combat balance. In terms of, like you mentioned, having a 96, starting with a 96 rated Crosby in
Yeah.
terms of the value
Oh,
of then other
Mhm.
Crosbys that we create throughout the years is not as great. So
R1.
yeah, like with now he's rated 92, the highest rated player
There you go.
in the game along with carry
Oh,
price.
the DS up
Then
there,
we
I
now
didn't
have
see it,
more
that's
room
fine.
for the economy
Mhm.
to have
Yeah.
more Crosbys.
What do you think, you and Lou? Hold it down?
Yeah. I was thinking Mike and Keith. Then I'm gonna get some Swedish spice on it. He's basically a forward anyway, but where's Erik Karlsson?
Is he in there?
No.
I think we forgot him.
You know what? I'll just go with Drew Doughty. I was thinking Erik Karlsson or PK.
Or PK?
Yeah. That's a good lineup though.
That's solid, yeah.
I don't know what the goalie's doing. And then I go back.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a game. What's
Yeah, actually, some. I mean, the gamers that have been asking me about the, packs and reopening packs on the stream.
Mm.
probably want to see Eddie opens packs?
Yeah, you wanna
Yeah.
rip open some packs?
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
probably the most one of the most entertaining parts of. Sorry. Well,
You
do
got a
honors.
lot of coins.
Yeah.
Coins this
Oh yeah, let's open some mega packs.
Can we rest injured players and heal them without using healing cards?
No, I know. So first off,
Oh,
guys
it's
have
my
been
buddy,
asking
Victor.
for a couple of years now.
Oh, there you go.
That was something that we had tried to get in, but we weren't able to. It's something we'll look into,
Mhm.
but you'll still have to use injury cards. To
So you have to use training cards.
Yes.
What
correct.
about goalie fatigue? Because I know you didn't have to use goalie fatigue this year, like a card.
Yes.
So is
Yep.
that the same?
Yep. That's the same. So you can rest your goalie on the bench.
Okay.
And he'll regain.
I need
regain
goalie
fatigue.
training for myself.
There you go.
Probably need that one
That's
too.
a good jersey. We're just quick sell the rest and open another pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Click all three. No,
Quick
just click it in.
sell.
Click it all three here. Just go send all 20 actually. Or quick sell all, yeah. There you go. So open another pack. see what we
You're
get.
bound. You're bound to
So-
get a 88 rated player. That's
Uh,
At least.
I don't think you're gonna run out of points soon.
There you go.
Oh, look at that.
Hank?
I'm adding Hank.
Burr?
I'm selling Burr.
There are no duration cards this year, correct?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. There are still training though.
Yes. So there's a good reason for that, and I know I've heard kind of both sides
Mhm.
of the argument, but where we're coming
That's
from
some
is
goalie training.
when we talk about
Stop.
I know we've talked about even playing field a lot with the EA Sports Hockey League, but it's one of the reasons why we took it out is because people users were doing +9, and then
Mhm.
15 game.
Mhm.
It just didn't
Rebound.
it just didn't feel right.
Mhm.
So the game became okay.
That
I'm
was
going
a
to
good
train
pack.
That was a good pack.
lower rated players, potentially AHL,
So do you
CHLers.
want more?
and,
Yeah, keep going.
That didn't feel like the way to
Mhm.
play HUT when we talked to especially like the game changers. So that's why we kept training, which is still compelling for a lot of our users, but removing the imbalance, if you
Mhm.
will, for the duration.
I think that really lowered the overall. Really lowered the like the prices of like the higher overall players as well.
Yeah,
Like the 3
and
plus
to be
five
honest, it's
too.
just the excitement in the
Yeah.
economy.
Yeah.
Let's do one more.
It makes those cards much more valuable.
One more.
Yeah, let's do one more. Who'd be your,
Eric Carlson's gonna pop up.
Yeah.
Shattenkirk.
Who would be
Gary,
your?
I'm adding Gary.
Oh yeah. Who'd be your like your ultimate team of all time, present and former players?
Wow. How long do I have?
Well, you gotta pick one per position.
I'd take Forrest Griffin.
Yeah.
Or Sundin.
Forrest Griffin.
I'm a fan of
Favorite
Forrest
player for sure. Gretzky.
Yeah.
What else do I need? You know what? I'm probably gonna throw Ovechkin in there too.
Yeah.
Probably have Lidstrom
Yeah.
and Bobby
Yeah.
and Patrick Roy, goalie.
Solid team.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong. Do we wanna hop into player friend?
Yeah, you can go show that. A lot of people are asking for a game as well, too.
Okay.
I'm gonna get very good at this before it comes
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
seriously.
I'm the guy to play.
Yeah. You're gonna have a copy tonight, so.
Here's a good question. Can you replace your starter goalie with a backup goalie in game?
No, not right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Again, much like the.
So I never
the
play
injury
or what?
Sorry?
I never play or what?
You're starting goalie.
You start yourself.
Yeah.
You're good.
Start yourself.
Sorry.
Like the injury healing feature. That's something that's higher on our list.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
How are we good for time? Do we want to hop into a game right now
Maybe do like 1 or 2 periods.
against the CPU?
so before going on, I know you mentioned
Yeah.
invite friend.
What was it?
So we brought the feature back. I know a lot of you use this to play custom leagues and whatnot. You know, some of you have especially the game changers have really told me the importance of this.
Yeah.
So one of the cool things that we decided to throw in there this time around are entry requirements. So I mentioned earlier with the tournament stuff, a lot of people find that really interesting way to play, challenge your friends, not just with who the top players in the game, but like, hey, let's play all CHL players or something like that, right? So this is really kind of a first taste of what we're able to do. So scrolling through quickly here, you're able to set the stuff like team star ratings, no trained players, no players from NHL, and you're able to set up multiple requirements this way. Up to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can send the invite to a friend, and they can choose whether or not to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're up to the task, and your buddy's like, hey, you know what, I want to play with no NHL players, no boosted players. Let's just play on bronze. That's something you can do.
That's awesome.
around.
I love that. Can't wait to use that this year.
To be honest, this is one of the interesting pieces of probably the game changers don't even know is this is something we added later on. So at first we're like, you know what, the base minimum, we want to get the mode back in. That was going to be the priority. But actually one of our engineers came to me and was like, would we want to bring this in? I'm like, oh yeah. And then when I told the game changers, like, love it. So again, I'm super excited. That's one of the things we're able to put in for launch. Any more questions before we want to jump into the game? Or?
I think you should hop in a game, and then if I get any more questions, I'll just throw them out there.
Cool. You.
Perfect.
See if you can keep your streak alive. You're at 2-0 right now.
I got all the lines already, right?
Yeah, you're set. You're good to go.
Taco time.
I'm getting a lot of questions about the returning user bonus. If you maybe want to elaborate a little bit about it.
Yeah. So very much kind of the same overall system as previous years. What we'll see this year is what I like to say is slightly better value. So in the past, what I mean better value is you would get gold packs that may or may not have, say duplicates, for example. Mixing in some gold common players. This year, we kind of changed the pack structure a bit by giving you higher value packs. So really, it's what it comes down to is more rare content, more rare consumables, better chance at rare players. So I mean, hopefully that, and that's that's coming directly from feedback from the community as well as the game changers saying, hey, look, overall, like I'd rather have to open fewer packs and get better content, and that's exactly what we've done.
So the cards that are going to be in the returning user bonus, are they tradable or non-tradable?
Tradable.
They are going to be tradable. Okay.
My players are just flying. Kess is going to score now.
Without even blinking.
While I'm waiting for some more questions, I'll just go over this again. We are doing some giveaways today. Okay, we got an Elgato capture card. We have some
Still
Astro
happy.
840 headsets and some copies of NHL16 that you guys can win. All you have to do is go on Twitter with the hashtag NHL16 Twitch. That's all you have to do to enter in, and we will randomly select some winners there.
I should win on this level, right?
You should win on, yes, you should win on Rookie. Yeah. Look at that line. Burles, Horvat, and Jagger.
Jew stomping the puck. Oh,
Oh,
didn't like someone on the bench.
Will a player like Eichel possibly make an appearance in Hockey Ultimate Team this year?
So same for the goes for the main game as well. Obviously we don't have him in the game because of playing in the NCAA. But at any chance we can get to add, especially a player of his caliber, that's something we'd like to do. But it's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
So just like everything we do in HUD, it's really meant to make as close as possible to authenticity and what goes on in the real world. So I definitely, and the team as well, we talked about this, definitely want to get him in the game.
Yeah.
If anything, I'd be curious to see what his rating is.
See his rating? I think it'd be pretty high, honestly. I'd say low 80s. If I would guess, I'd say low 80s.
That wouldn't be unreasonable.
It's the first line. Picked him.
your Team Taco looks good.
2 D-man scored a goal so far.
Will the face scans from the rookie showcase make it in the game?
Oh, from Rookie Showcase? No,
Yeah.
there's a process that we have to go through to get those in, and again, for us to be as authentic as possible, we'll see what we can do. But for the most part, we should consider those for NHL17.
Guess I'm playing against you.
You're not leaving until we play again. So.
Hey, do we need to switch this to a versus game?
Yeah. We're going to change the whole flow.
See? I waited for traffic on the net.
Yeah, that's good, right? Good patience.
So after this, we're just gonna play one period, and then we're gonna hop into BAGM, okay?
Yeah, sounds good. can you get 10 goals in 1 period on record?
Is that good?
That would be good if you could do that.
The guys that are watching can probably get 25.
You definitely have the team to do it.
You got the team.
Kessler's gonna score now. Beast mode.
No. You have one kind of lasting memory of your time in Vancouver? Like one moment sticks out more than the rest?
There's probably 3 different ones. I would say my first home game is one of those.
Yeah.
When I played Carolina.
Yeah.
Then when we made the playoffs this year, the home game against LA was just like unbelievable atmosphere and
Yeah.
everything. It was just so much fun. And,
Yeah.
and then obviously the first 2 playoffs game was just so much fun as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you view other players' teams through the leaderboards?
Right now we don't have the functionality. So I know on Xbox 360 and PS3 they did.
Are the Legends going to be back?
That's a good question. So without sharing too much on the details, I can't give specific names, but yes, definitely Legends was actually pretty exciting time for us, especially last year with both the number and quality. But yes, look forward to definitely something we want to do with Legends this year.
Awesome.
Getting better. Warming up for you.
Yeah. You're getting close.
3 goals in
3 goals in a minute
minute
will be
08.
tough though.
I get it. I had 23 face-offs. That's the biggest problem. Oh. Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Do we get packs or coins for collections?
Packs.
Is it similar to last year?
Yeah, very similar last year. Obviously, every year, we look at new players, overall player ratings that make up each team, how difficult it is to get access to those players. We take that into account. So overall, the structure is the same, but we have obviously had to tune some of the teams in terms of the amount of packs that you get, just based on the shuffle. For those of you that like to complete silver collections, I'd be happy to hear we've increased the number of packs that you get for those, because obviously the silver players are hard to come by because of supply, but so that's one of the things that we took into account as well when we're tuning the rewards. So yes, GM moves up.
Yeah, thanks, Clem.
Yeah. Thank you, Eddie.
Hop into some
Thank you.
DGM.
Good job. Boys are back.
Boys are back.
Woo.
So these guys are going to run through some BGM stuff. We figured now that you're no longer a Canuck, we maybe go through BGM with the Canucks and see what kind of player morale commentary you have for us, or maybe don't have for us.
So as we load out here, I'll quickly jump into BGM. I'll quickly go over some of the new fun things we have in there, such as player morale. So, BGM.
That's Willie's job, though. It's not the GM, right?
Yeah.
In BGM, we allow you to also edit lines and all that kind of stuff
That's
as
awesome.
well. So you basically have full control over the team.
You're like a manager in soccer.
Basically,
Yeah.
I love that.
And I would imagine on a hockey team, the coach is talking to the general manager about
Oh, yeah.
issues in the locker room or not, and scenarios around the team. So
So once we load up into here, which should be about now. You'll notice that there's a few things a little bit different in regards to the very bottom of the screen. You'll see that there's something called locker room chemistry and player meetings. And what locker room chemistry is, every player in our game is assigned a personality. And based off of the personality, we then say how much chemistry players have with each other in the locker room, and then we assign a final number based off of how many leaders you have in the locker room, and other players can also become locker room presences as well. So you'll see that within here we have Henrik and Daniel as 2 leaders, and we have Bo as he has a leadership trait as well.
Already?
They've been talking captain for last year.
Seriously drafted him.
Yeah. It's a natural.
And so you'll see that a lot of guys have very neutral. They're important to the dressing room and they contribute a bit. But guys, with the more leaders you have, will actually help your team perform better on the ice. And basically, what locker room chemistry does is it gives you a bit of a boost in gameplay for offensive awareness, defensive awareness, so you're more of a cohesive group, as well as in the simmage, and it'll help you win games as well. You also see here you have the smiley faces for players, which basically indicate whether or not a player is happy or upset, and you'll see a trend here as well.
They're all happy, eh?
Yeah. So at the beginning of the game, you'll get everyone at a relatively happy state.
Yeah.
And you also get a trend whether or not they're going up or down from one day to the next.
Yeah. Nice.
So I'll sim a little bit here, and I'll show you some morale stuff occurring, because at the start of the year there's not much happening. So I'll sim to the regular season, and we'll start seeing some things pop up. And once things pop up, I'll talk about it a little bit.
Who are some of the guys you've had good chemistry with in the locker room on the Canucks, I guess?
You know what? I kind of felt like I was jumping in between groups. Like some days I was with the older guys, and then sometimes with the younger. So I feel like I kind of had good chemistry with everyone. But obviously, me and Tyne have been playing for the same team for a lot of years now. So I feel like he's the one that I got the best chemistry with.
Gotcha. So you guys may have noticed that there's a notification up there. So that will actually tell you everything that's occurring to a player or the players on your team throughout the year. So as you're simming or as you're playing, you'll get notifications saying, hey, this guy gained morale for not enough ice time, or gained morale for playing a lot, lost morale for losing ice time. There's certain things in there where if you trade certain players, they'll be upset that you trade away a star player and you're no longer focusing on winning and all that kind of stuff. And then I'll go into a little bit deeper about how certain players actually have high chemistry players that stick around with them. So a Daniel and Henrik Sedin will always be linked together. A guy like Corey Perry and Ryan Getzlaff will also be linked together. So if you trade one of them, the other guy is not going to be very happy about it. As well as if you bring them back together, it will also boost their morale.
And this is even if the Blues got one Sedin, and then 2 years later you traded the other Sedin to the Blues, it would actually track that they know these are two are best friends or brothers, and then it would go from there.
So if I go to Daniel. So he currently has no concerns, but you can see that his best locker room chemistry is Henrik, and he has high locker room chemistry with Dan Hammies, Burrows, and Bravada. And as you cycle through guys, different guys will have different players that they're all have high or low chemistry with.
So Alex Edler doesn't like Ronald Kennens, eh?
No, it's not necessarily like it's in regards to the. It's basically a chemistry, so how well they sort of feed off each other, I guess, is kind of the layman's term for it.
No one likes Ronald Kennens.
So you also see here, we actually have a log of events that occur. So
I'm going to trade him away. Whatever.
So you also have a log of stuff as well. So you'll be able to see everything that's happened to a player throughout the course of a BAGM. Which is cool because basically based off of their personality, when you have an interaction with them, because you can have player meetings with players, you sort of need to know how they would react to certain situations so that you can get the best out of that player to react out of that meeting. We also have team meetings. I'm going to try to get one to occur here.
I have a good question here. Is there slow simming this year?
The simming is much improved. You can probably see that it's going a lot quicker than it has been in the past.
Is there slow simming as in you can actually watch the progress
sim
of the
intervene.
game?
Yeah, so we have
yes.
added sim intervene back.
Mhm.
So you can intervene into games as well as just watch the sim.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
So I got a conversation here. I can also hold a team meeting, so you can also. So in this case, we're talking about a game that happened prior to, and not many people thought they would win. So you're giving the speech to the team.
I'll give the speech.
And each of these will have a different outcome based off of the personalities of the players in the locker room. So as you add or subtract players onto the team, certain things may work for certain players, and certain things may not work for other players.
And
so you sort of have to be very cautious in terms of what you actually pick.
And it's not 100%. So it's not built on the system that you say this and this guy always reacts well. It's based on there's some percentage of their personality and then just odds, because we don't want it to be a game of I know exactly what to say to make him happy. But you do want to work on trying to make your whole locker room as happy as possible.
So as you can see here, there's players.
I'm gonna meet with Daniel to discuss. Ooh, he's having a tough goal right now, right?
So based off their personalities, they'll react differently to certain things.
This is definitely for their personality.
There you go.
You're going to be good with it. You know everybody on the locker room.
Okay, where do I trade Ronald Cannons?
So if you press circle. Press circle again, and then go into trade players. You'll be able to trade certain players. So you can either go down there, or you can keep going to the right and go to trade and improve. Go back one and down. There you go. And then you can go to trade players.
Whether you trade a superstar or you trade a fourth line player,
there's trading lots.
There will actually be consequences. So if your third line was all buddies and one got traded, it would affect the other two. It might not affect the superstars as much, but it does affect who's around them. And then if you trade a superstar player, obviously that ripples through a lot more of the team.
And Eddie was there in the trade block as well. Putting players on the trade block will actually have an effect on the player as well. So putting players will actually have a negative effect on them, and they'll sort of take away some morale from the players.
I also saw, like if you move someone from like the second line to the third line, does that also affect them?
Yeah, it does. So ice time plays a big role. So as soon as they start getting more and more ice time, they'll start gaining morale.
Okay.
Basically, we have 4 different morale meters. So
Ronnie.
there's management, there's teammate,
two.
performance, and whatnot, and you can basically each of those has certain things that move it up or down. And actually, if you trade a player, I was discussing this earlier with Andy, players would actually have a tougher time adjusting. So they have an adjustment period that they need to sort of acclimate to their new environment as they go on throughout their career and their season. So when you acquire a guy, you'll actually have to.
Some guys will just step in pretty much right away, and then a scenario could be that a guy just takes a couple weeks to get going with his team because he doesn't know the teammates very well, and hasn't even got a place to live. Just starts to bring up all the facts that every player reacts differently.
Yeah, you'll start seeing his morale sort of climb back up.
Try to pull a veteran.
Can I get the?
Well, Kennens, just to let you know, Kennens doesn't make much money, so then.
No, but I threw
the first.
So the red ones I can't trade for them because I don't have cap space.
No, the red ones are the guys that they're interested.
That's interested who they're willing to give up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it kind of helps you guide you to say, oh, if I want to get one of the guys, like if you wanted to get Zetterberg, you'd have to give up probably a little more because that's a player that they think is their core.
Yeah.
We actually worked on some of the trade logic as well to sort of help improve it based off of last year, going on boards and whatnot, seeing the trades that I've seen, try to help improve the ability for the CPU to sort of
add a little more.
how the CPU reacts to certain trades, and if you're trying to take away a player from,
you're going to see that it actually told you that Vancouver would be over the salary cap.
So you can.
That's why I need to add.
You need to.
I need to add a contract.
So if you're trying to take away a player from the CPU, you may have to give up an equally good value asset for them. Whereas last year was a little bit more little bit more looser in the constraints that you could have.
I'm adding Verby.
They may still not take this.
You know,
If it,
Yeah. Okay. Oh, well,
that's, he's young and there you go.
there you go. Well, the first round I think helped a lot.
Actually, Crawfish got rid of Kennens.
how do I get myself back?
Oh.
So you see up there, players were happy and getting upset that you lost a player in Vermata, but you also gained a player back in
Yeah.
regards to Nyquist. And then depending on trade level you're on, trades become easier or harder, depending on what you have.
So yeah, we have levels of trade difficulty. Also, just so that because we didn't show the intro into the mode, fantasy draft
Yeah,
back, so you can do
See,
a
Swedish
full fantasy
first line.
draft
There you go.
to
Good chemistry up there.
to start off
Yeah.
your BAGM, so you can have that in, and that's in this mode as well as in season mode. And
Okay.
you can do that.
Also, when you trade for a player, they actually don't, unless they know a player previously, like they will actually slowly, within X amount of days, gain friends or gain
Okay.
chemistry players based off of that.
A lot of people are asking
So we
for
were
maybe
4-3
a
before
demonstration of the
trade.
intervene.
Okay.
Oh,
See
sure,
what
sure.
happens.
Let Eddie sim to a game here, and then we can
Yeah.
sort of go into that sim intervene flow.
Yeah.
He wants to see if his team has gotten better or worse since the trade.
See, I'm winning.
Nyquist is
Shaking
good.
things up.
We lost against this whole team though. Utica Comments is doing good.
You guys like seeing as a guy that's on the NHL team? Do you even follow the minor league team? Like if you're a full
little
time,
bit.
a little bit.
I mean, I was following it, especially I had a good friend of Mark's from the last year, so I was just kind of following him. But
So if you hit X on the Devils game there, and then go to sim game.
oh, sorry.
No worries. And then you'll be able to watch the sim unfold as events happen.
We haven't been doing good, so
So the action tracker is back. So not only do we use some of the core functionality here in the sim intervention, but you'll actually be able to have the if you're playing a game, the action tracker's there. You can actually go look at your clips of what you've done or what happened in the game. That was one of the features a lot of people really liked, and we brought it back.
Yeah, so you have all the same functionality. You'll have the same functionality. You'll be able to go into game. You'll be able to speed up the clock and all that kind of stuff, and you can just watch the sim unfold. One of my personal favorites. I love just watching.
Yeah,
the sim.
this is also a big favorite of mine as well.
Corey Schneider's in my way right now.
Seems like New Jersey, 1 goal. They never score more than 1 goal.
I don't have to.
That's true.
I have to intervene here soon.
5-on-4 power play. Markstrom's playing that too.
Bring it home.
What pro? Yeah, that's probably me my skill level, right?
Yeah,
Or
you'll-
rookie, go pro. Yeah.
And you can set up whatever level you want to play when you enter into BGM. So you'll set up your rules and settings. So you can make it all-star or superstar, pro or rookie.
Got some more questions coming in?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them are repeat questions, and some of them are great questions. You have to sift through them.
You're asking why I'm so bad at this, or what?
No, they're all saying you're a beauty.
Oh no.
Oh.
Markstrom with the save.
Okay. Will injuries, captaincy assignments, or playing a non-natural position affect morale?
So injuries will. So as a player gets hurt, they will lose morale for that. Captaincy changes will as well. They'll actually have a conversation. So if you strip a guy of captaincy, it will bring up a conversation. The guy will lose morale, as well as giving a player a captaincy. And in both the NHL or AHL teams, will actually gain morale.
And then what was the last thing you said?
Let me find it here again.
Playing off wing.
Playing
off, yeah.
Just playing down position will not. Those other two things will.
Okay.
Though that is something that would be cool to do for sure.
Yeah, we don't think that when we added all these pieces into player morale, it wasn't. We kind of knew that there's going to be more stuff as we go along that we would like to.
Oh, there you go.
Nyquist.
So at some point, I think those new additions will just keep going as we figure them out.
Yeah.
There you go. The trade's paying dividends.
Second shines.
I'm seeing a lot of repeat questions about a fantasy draft. Yes, there is a fantasy draft option.
Oh boy. I'll win this, boys. Bring it home.
Is there an All-Star game weekend?
No, not
Yeah.
not this year. No.
Uh-oh.
Call hammer. Hammer time.
So if you give a neutral player captaincy,
Hip check.
will that turn him into a leader?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
So players, like I said, they're assigned personalities, and they also have certain qualities.
Mhm.
So a leadership quality is also a thing that. So having a guy like that, that isn't necessarily a leader in the locker room, may not be the greatest choice.
Yeah.
Players may not be happy about that
Mhm.
either. So giving it to a guy that isn't necessarily qualified is not the best idea to do.
Oh,
Markey.
Oh.
Come on, Bo. Show where you're a leader. Not the best game.
oh, back check.
Tripping.
What happened? Come on.
Here's a trip.
I thought it was gonna be that was short.
Oh.
Uh-oh. What did it say on the thing?
Face holding crackle, face holding mother can love.
Will player points stats go past 4 years in GM mode this year?
Off the top of my head, I do not recall. I believe it's the same as
Okay.
the previous years.
And he can't shoot. I gotta pass this. Oh.
OT.
Want to keep going in overtime? You want to keep it moving?
Yep.
Can we re-sign players during the season? I'm assuming that's referring to like contract extensions.
So we are aware of that, obviously, but we've done a couple things with the logic, but we've left it as is for now, and we'll look at it. We're trying to figure out how we can do that in the future. Yeah.
And to the contracts thing, sorry, I missed this out. Morale will actually affect contract signings as well.
Okay.
So having guys that are really upset with you, they may not re-sign with you. They may want out of town. They'll also look into the future of like how your makeup of your team is sort of, and see if they're a player that wants to win and they're a vet, they may not want to be around with your team. They may decide to go play for a championship team. So we're trying to emulate that experience with the player.
Oh,
Look
yes.
at that.
So if morale is low,
Morale is high right now.
but if morale is low, that will affect like how you sign that player. Like,
Yeah.
If his morale is low, he's gonna want more money or maybe
Yeah.
shorter contract.
Yeah, so it will have different effects on the contract itself as well.
Okay.
Not necessarily in terms of the length,
Yeah.
but if a player that you have basically doesn't want to be a part of your team and you offer him an exorbitant amount of money, he will probably sign with you.
Yes.
So it will have it adds a little bit more of a game within the negotiation of contracts. and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And same thing goes for free agents. If you have very poor locker room chemistry, they may choose not to sign with your team as well. So you want to keep everything on the up and up.
Okay, so we're going to be switching over to EASHL. It's going to take about a minute to get it set up here, so...
This was fun.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Should give it a go.
GM, after your career is done?
Yeah. Get to manage those players.
So we're going to play some EA Sports Hockey League now for your lock. So same thing, you're locked in with character. Everyone, yeah. Everyone on the ice is going to be user controlled.
Yeah. That's sick.
There's some waters over there, Shane. Out there. Have it. Okay, ask Andy or somebody just run to the calf right there and grab one.
So everyone's gonna be
Forward, please center.
real players.
Yeah, like
Everyone
everyone's...
to play with.
So they're all
everyone's playing
they're all in the other room over there.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're-
okay.
Yeah, they're all your teammates. We have a headset. We have a headset. or not?
Henny Sedin.
Okay. Yeah, so even the goalie's going to be user controlled.
Oh, nice.
We figured we wouldn't put you in net for the first time.
Yeah. You guys would be mad at me probably.
Okay.
Should I press start? Fine.
Yeah, they'll get ready to go once they're set up. Are we good to go, Shay?
Should be good to go, yeah.
All right.
Are we playing the computer or?
No, we're playing. There's 11 other guys playing, so it's
Oh, really?
a team of 6 versus another team of 6.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I just have some more general questions. Will practice mode be in NHL16 and will it be updated in any way?
Well, practice mode is still the 1-on-0, but again, we work with the fans. We understand that they want deeper practice experience, so it's definitely on our radar for sure. Have you played in the EA Sports Hockey League before?
No.
No? Yeah, so the whole premise is, when we first set out to create the mode, it was like our vision was like a virtual men's league. Can you and 5 of your buddies, each from the comforts of your own home, create a team and take on other people from around the world. So, people have teams with players playing from all over the world, and they kind of get the best players, recruit the best players. Goalies are some of the most important position.
Yeah.
A good goalie when you're playing 6v6.
Yeah, like I usually don't play that much online. More like on planes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like we don't have internet on the plane, so
Yeah.
maybe in Carolina, hopefully. That would be pretty sweet, though.
Playing online while you're flying through the air.
Yeah.
They're saying Clappy isn't ready.
Just waiting for the other guys.
Yeah. Just had to wait on one guy.
Was it Clappy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he getting tacos out here or what?
Tacos there.
Oh, thanks.
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 Oh, flavor too.
What do they need to do? Just jump in?
Got the sugar water.
Yeah, I'll try this. Hey.
Is there a hat trick animation?
Yes. There is.
And I remember someone else was asking, did the fans throw hats on the ice?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So here you can pick your player class.
Hmm.
So you can be a grinder. So you see the strengths and weaknesses of each of the different player classes that we have in the game.
I don't
So
know.
it's,
How do I change it?
Hit B.
I think
Oh, hit cancel. Hit A.
I think I was too fast. I'm a grinder anyway.
Grinder, good all rounder.
Lacks offensive tools. Sounds like me.
Are there 3 stars in the game this year?
Not like they were before, so we still call who 3 stars are, but not the sequence.
So, am I playing on a good team or a bad team?
These
You
guys are all good.
Yeah, these guys are really good.
They'll all play their position properly.
I'm not. Yeah, you guys are flying out there. Oh.
Will you be able to challenge individual clubs?
Not out of the box, but again, that's something that's absolutely on our radar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you change your player type later in EASHL? You choose it like before every game that you play.
You choose before every game. It remembers your last player type
Yeah.
based on your position, forward to your goalie. So default to that, but you can then change it every single time, so you're not locked into it. You might be the one hit. You gotta hit A. Get back in there.
No, they're only trying to change the camera.
Yeah, they're still.
Have the HUT leaderboards been fixed? Or are they more in depth?
Leaderboards for the most part are the same. Or,
Okay. Are there detailed statistics on players?
Not for HUT.
For HUT, yeah.
Not sure offhand. We should ask Clem that when we goes back in here.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at face-offs, boys.
Tucked in jerseys. That's not coming back, I'm assuming.
Not right. Not for this year.
Yeah.
It's not allowed, right?
No. You gotta have them out now, right?
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's like a rule now.
Yeah, you gotta have them out.
Leaderboard's based off of best ratio or most wins. If it was like last year, it'd be more like most wins. And how many seasons you win.
Takes it behind his own cage. Propelled to left.
Oh.
We got it.
Picks it up in his own end. He works
Will we get packs for completing collection packs in NHL15? Yes, we will.
Oh. Good job, boys.
Are you bringing the lobbies back?
Not for launch, but again, I think when you look at the functionality people want for lobbies, 100% understand.
Covering the goalie. Oh!
So it's we have EASHL and then we have OTP. So
What a
far.
goal,
Oh, space,
boys.
that's right. Yeah.
Will we be able to play a hockey ultimate team, 2 players on the same team?
Not for launch. No.
Go for tie. Oh.
Oh, there's Clem. We can ask him some questions.
Oh, I forget what was that?
There's one about detail stats and something else.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
detailed statistics for like hockey ultimate team, like player statistics.
Sit down.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry, come again?
Like detailed statistics, like on players in Hockey Ultimate Team.
Mhm.
Is that gonna be a thing this year?
Stuff like face-off percentage,
Like face-off
block shots.
Yeah.
No, that's not in right now.
Okay. And then the other thing, just to clarify, the leaderboard system, is it the same as last year?
Yeah. And
Oh,
while
you're
we're on
saying
it,
right? Yeah, whoa, I was looking for the breakaway.
while we're on, because I know I actually made a mistake earlier about the returning user bonus being tradable. It is untradable, so
Yeah.
I apologize for the confusion there. Just set the record straight.
Yeah.
I haven't won a face-off yet, boys. So. I'm a grinder, though. Oh, what happened?
Oh, little lag.
No!
You getting any ESHL questions on there?
That's what I'm looking for. Looking for some new questions that we haven't answered yet.
Just go over the general stuff there.
Oh.
Yeah, if there's some general EASHL stuff that anyone wants to go over.
Offside.
Any of the gameplay stuff?
What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're at the top.
Moves to the corner, kicked out of the scrum. Near the last minute of the first, forcing attention indeed. And it's nabbed by Miller. Great stick.
How many new deeks are there?
Picks it up in his own end.
How many new deeks? Not a lot of new deeks, but we, just from playing the beta, if people played the beta, you'll notice we really kind of tried to refine each one of the deeks. The stride deeks were redone as well, just to make them a little tighter, a little more realistic. So spent a lot of time, so not a whole lot of new deeks, but a lot of time just actually refining the ones that we had in there.
Good job, boys.
Okay, I have another good hot question here. About the effect of salary and team chemistry on your HUD team. Like, is it a bit similar to last year or the same?
Yes. So in a
goalie
nutshell,
went to the
yes,
washer.
but we might want
Yeah.
to, like I mentioned earlier, for player friend and then offline seasons, we may want to use it a different way.
Impeccable timing.
Really hoping to bring that to the forefront again with making more interesting teams.
Were you around for that with Lou?
No.
Was
no.
your 2004?
No, that's unbelievable.
It happens in the virtual world too.
Yeah.
This game is tied.
So when you get to Carolina, you get 5 of your teammates, create an EA Sports Hockey League team.
Yeah, they're just sick.
Call up your boys from the.
So selfish out there. Goalie and an only child. That explains it.
You in the box?
I'm in the box? What did I do? Oh, not for very long. Sorry, boys. That's a bad call.
We should do a giveaway or something.
I think we're doing it on Twitter.
Oh, later?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think everyone's entering. I can talk about it again here.
Refresh.
But yeah, we have Elgato game captures, few Astro A40 headsets, and a couple copies of NHL16 that we're going to be giving away. All you have to do is go on Twitter with the hashtag NHL16Twitch, and that'll enter you into the giveaway. And I'm assuming we'll give those away later today, and that'll be all random.
Yep.
Play a stop. There is a signal. We just wanted to see who it is he's taking on. Evenition's headed to the penalty box. Up
bounce. How do I do this?
What's that? Face off? Pull back on the right stick is the easiest thing. This is the most
Yeah,
simplest one.
fine.
Or play with these guys. Just push forward on the left stick. It'll tie them up and tell those guys to come and take it. So next time, just go forward with the left stick and tell those guys to come get it. Oh.
Wow.
Pretty good animation in there.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going for the draw. Oh, no.
Oh.
Go, go, go! Oh!
Will we ever see the team intros in the future? I think it would be cool to see the team take the ice at the beginning of the game and watch a special intro. Also, will there ever be warm-ups for a game? And that's it.
Team intros, yeah. I think, for us, it's trying to get more and more authentic. So
Flying V boys or what?
it's something we're gonna look at. I think
No.
We want to again do as best job we can just to capture that entire experience when they come on the ice. What's that about?
Possibility of warm-ups.
That's not me, is it?
Oh yeah, we've heard people talk
Oh,
about
power
warm-ups.
play.
I think it's again something that we've heard a lot from our fans and something that we'll look at. For us, warm-ups. We look at prioritizing features, stuff like that. We got to look at, do we want to spend more time working on gameplay, dialing in the gameplay, or do we want to work on something like warm-ups? We'll have a gameplay element if we want to be interactive. So it's really just a priority call on how we want to spend our time, right? Because everything that we decide to move forward with means we're not working on something else.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
You got that.
Oh!
Is first-person gameplay on your radar?
First-person gameplay on the radar. We've done some, we've seen some other games try to do it. It can be pretty jarring. It can be just a difficult camera to play from. It can be pretty jarring as well.
Yeah.
I think you see with VR and AR and all those things, in games starting to experiment with that stuff. I think we'll see kind of where that technology goes in the future. I think that's probably a better solution to kind of a first-person situation. So it's not a high priority for us right now.
So we also have EA access codes that we're going to be giving away, so that you guys can play NHL early as well. So that's another cool thing that we'll be giving away.
Am I in the box
Is
again?
that going to be with these boys as well?
Yeah.
Yep. So same thing. Just hashtag NHL16 Twitch on Twitter, and then you can also get NHL16 early too.
Oh,
Good job, boys.
These are going to be dedicated servers.
good time.
We've said this before. I'll explain a bit more. The way the OTP and esports site works is through rebroadcaster. What we call rebroadcaster is basically a hosted server that all the players connect to, as opposed to a straight up head-to-head where you're connecting peer-to-peer. So the answer is yes, there are dedicated servers, but it's a case that there has always been dedicated servers.
Okay. So it's the same as previous years. Are there songs on the home screen? Just the.
No, just the more menu music.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Ben was saying earlier, this year we really focused again on the authenticity and try and get the authentic goal songs for each one of the different teams. But the same type of menu music in the front. Goalie going for a skate.
Back in full strength. Back in his defensive end to get it. In the defensive zone, continuing on. Takes that pass that was just slipped ahead to him. That one fired down. The defense will win.
Will you be able to appoint captains on your EASHL club?
Not yet.
Okay.
Thank God.
Oh.
Oh, is there a max number of coin in which
At least
you
I
can
didn't
sell a
take the
card
face
for?
off.
Like is it like you can only go up to $1 million, and then if people can bid it higher than $1 million, or can you go higher than $1 million to start
Yes,
it off with?
you can go higher than $1 million now.
So you can go higher than $1 million now. That's
Yes.
interesting.
Exact. Drawing a blank on that. It is higher than $1 million.
It is higher than $1 million now. Okay.
Ooh.
Looks ahead to start something. Offside stops the flow. Just a bit under 5 minutes to go. Distinct's lead is 1, and it's a fresh lead.
Are there solo challenges on how to make coins in game players like Madden?
I'll tell you, just go straight up left stick.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying.
Picks it up in his
Oh.
own end.
Trying to wait for a stoppage plays and sit back down rather than talking off camera.
There you go.
Just left up.
But yeah, just push straight up. Please do it right from the start and try and time out.
Can we preset strategies for the AI and EASHL?
No, not right now.
Oh, got it moving.
Yeah. I'll tip it.
It's one of those things. So like more on bots. I know we've talked a lot about with the community for since Xbox 360 PS3. That's one of the areas the team and I are starting to explore in terms of how do you make the because a lot of people don't play sixes, right? So how do we make the AI bot more reliable, more engaging? So no for now, but yeah, definitely something we're going to look into.
Bones is tearing it up right now.
Yeah.
You can hear them screaming in the other room.
19-0 and
Are you? Oh!
Play on that face-off. You have to be strong to hold that other guy off. It's a 3-on-2 as they move in. Point blast. Oh, what a club he's got there. Opponents is hit yet again. Tough night for him.
whoa.
The drama heightens in this final minute of the second period. Referee over to the penalty box, and let's find out. United
Those are sick purple
assessed a
pads.
minor penalty. 2 minutes, and the call is tripped. Glides to the safety behind the net. Great job. Slips on by. United's carrying it.
He just confirmed that we can list cards over $1 million coins now. Yes.
Oh, man. That was huge.
Get your bucky on, bro.
Oh, man.
I never had that haircut.
On that note, one of the more subtle features we had was just the ability for people to use the keyboard.
So you can use the keyboard now.
So you don't have, you can still toggle,
Yeah.
like before. So we've tuned that, but on top of that, we've also enabled
So-
a decent keyboard.
Okay, so like if I want to put up a card for like let's say 750K, I can actually type in
Yep.
700. Okay, that's awesome. Because I remember at the beginning of the year last year, it was like it took forever to get up to like 1 million coins if you want to put it out
Let's
there.
do this.
And then after that was fixed, it's like
Taco time.
constantly like go past, and then you have to go back, and then you have to go past. So that's really awesome.
Still waiting in the defensive zone.
I think all the game changers had asked for that.
Mhm.
one point
Yeah.
on the visits.
What about like searching like for a player specifically?
So I'm assuming you mean by player name.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't. Unfortunately, we don't have that yet. What we did do though to make it easier to search is when you search by for players, for example, all these special types will be included. So, for example, Crosby, standard goal, Crosby team of the year, player of the game. When you go to the auction house now, where it used to be you have to search for each different type, now we can search any, all his cards show up.
Yeah. So there's no more.
Uh-oh.
There's only one player
in
section
there.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do some bad work with his stick there. Must have not heard the whistle. Distinct's got another face-off win. United's penalty kill comes through.
there anything special for Legacy?
For Legacy Edition on 360 PS3, no, it's mostly the authenticity around the roster, so get the new players in there, new uniforms, stuff like that. So in terms of features, the bulk of efforts went towards NHL16.
Okay, can we send trade offers of more than $1 million bucks?
Yes.
Okay.
The State's goal has built an even bigger lead. We're in the third period. For the opposition, at least that is fortunate. Up the wing and still with it. Score!
Oh wow!
4 goals in a row for the same team. The State's goal has taken them to a
Is it me or what?
Will opposing team be penalized if the goalie leaves in a 6v6 EASHL matchup?
That question gets asked a lot.
I'm ready.
So right now, no. So when we understand that, the importance of having a human goalie balance, but it wasn't something we were able to get to. But like we talked about the importance of balanced playing field. And especially where the sixes are concerned, that's going to be something we're going to look at. One of the first things, in fact, on our list.
Oh.
Yay!
Good wrap.
Will HUT ever adapt to price ranges like FUT has?
So price range is interesting discussion. The history on that is just for those of you that are probably asking the question are familiar because there are security and coin selling issues. Fortunately, in HUD, we monitor the situation closely. We haven't. We do still have coin sellers. We're all aware of that. But the extent of the problem isn't such that we want to enforce something. I guess in an arbitrary way where we set the values. So no, we're not looking at this time, but we're keeping a close eye on it. And it's but the important thing to reinforce is price range isn't good.
Yeah.
For the community in terms of keeping a free market.
Yeah.
So it's something we don't want to do, but if we if we need to, that's something we'll consider.
Another penalty. The referee goes to the penalty timekeeper. The United's power play gets another.
We have to get it from our own end though.
Oh, here's a good question. Can you change your line and still poke check?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So this year, I wish Ben was here, but we talked about that, and there's actually a gameplay change to disable line, changing strategies during that time.
Okay.
So you can still poke check.
Okay.
We go down to the benches. Here's Ray.
Thanks, guys. This has been a wonderful night for him.
Bones.
He's had the puck. He's been able to find open ice, and whenever he's had the puck, it's not stayed on his stick very long.
Ray, he's certainly one of the 3 stars in my book.
Whoa.
Can you send trade offers with more than 4 players?
The State's in their own
No.
end and carrying it on. Puck collected back behind the net by Miller. Looks ahead to start something. The United's
Will I be able to play couch mode with a friend and participate in EASHL games?
So right now,
Shoot!
couch mode is.
You needed that.
Oh my god. We would have been right back in it.
So going back to couch mode. So couch mode is
Oh.
for versus
Yeah.
right now. So there's no support for couch mode
Okay.
most likely,
Yeah.
or OTP for that.
pass to the shooting position. Moving into left. 2-on-1. Brilliant.
Oh. Good D.
And that's a good job taking the pressure off. United seeing the penalty clock bleeding.
Are contracts the same?
Sorry.
Are contracts the same in Hockey Ultimate Team?
Yes. Yeah. So in terms of how they're.
I just
applied,
want to
how
hit
they're
the
used in HUD.
bones.
Is this the worst lead in hockey?
That being said, I mean, I know, and this is where we, all the Ultimate Team, prog team talk a lot, and the way I've heard, especially the Game Change talk about it, where the Madden system works really well. So, that's something to consider down the road.
He was outnumbered but not outmanned.
touch that, right?
I don't know.
Take the softie.
Pretty nice billiard shot there, hey Enzo? Off the defender and in.
United's goal gets them to within 2.
5 minutes.
Black assist.
Would the players grow a beard in playoff mode in Hockey Ultimate Team?
Terrific hit that time.
Right now, we don't have playoff beer goal support.
Shoot it.
Outstanding save with a glove. Looks ahead to start something. Distinct's carrying it in the defensive zone. Working it on a drop to bonus. Carries it up the
Go, 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 go.
Oh, on that note though about playoffs, that's because I recall seeing a couple times in the forums in the last week. I confirmed that the playoffs for both EA Sports Hockey League and HUD will be monthly.
Okay.
nice move to shake off.
It was weekly, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So now it's monthly. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strong play, good reach. Gonna get a penalty. It's a delayed call. And play is stopped for a penalty.
Me probably.
You?
It's probably me.
No.
No, they did.
2 minutes and the call.
You guys want to pull the goalie after we lose the faceoff? Oh,
It's gotten a lot of time, but no goals. Maybe that'll change with this. The Uniteds continue on in center. That's a good solid hit. He'll feel that one.
Almost out of nowhere, the defender steps into it. That hurts.
The parade to the penalty box means a
that was me.
special teams from the bench.
Third time in the box.
Yeah.
They win the draw. Now
Can you search for specific change teams?
last minute to go in the
No.
third. Nice stand-up poke check there.
I actually get asked that quite a bit.
It is on.
It's actually more complicated
Mhm. Yeah.
than it looks. But yeah, I mean, you would think that'd be quite simple to just flip
Yeah.
it to you. Not to say it can be done, but yeah, definitely something we've considered.
Is the EA tax still the same in the auction house?
Yeah, that hasn't changed.
Can he generate something? Forcing attention in deep. Chipped off the boards and ahead. Wonderful save. What skill by both goalie and shooter. Terrific stop from right in front of the net. You've got to find a way to put the
This is my first time ever in the box, though.
He could start some danger here. This will be a goalie fight. And play is stopped again. And I'm almost out of ink on this penalty shoot.
So we got a sportsmanlike trying to fight.
A little too snarly. Minor penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct.
In the last minute,
Nice, solid,
Yeah.
neutralized poke check.
Do we get notified
job,
when a trade
guys.
is sent to one of our cards?
Is over, and so the
Notification.
close game.
What sort of notification?
Like maybe a pop-up or something? Or do you have to go
okay,
to your...
I see. Yeah, no. So that part hasn't changed. We don't have a pop-up, but there is indicator obviously if you're sitting in the auction hub,
Yeah.
that there is incoming trade offer.
How's your first EA Sports Hockey League game?
It's really cool.
Black
Back
for
for
MVP.
MVP. Did you put that in there?
That's just the game. It'll actually read. It'll read the players' names that you have in there, and then based on what you put in there, it'll put that stuff up potentially. Yeah. Wrap her up.
Well, guys, thank you for coming up. I am actually going to be streaming here right after this on my channel, so if you guys want to watch some more NHL, you're welcome to come hang out with me. Thank you, everyone, for
Thank you.
all
Thanks
the
for hosting.
questions. Thanks,
Yeah,
Eddie,
thank
for
you.
joining us.